Hello and welcome to the Techforce Podcast Show. I'm your host Shivani. Today we're going to talk about 5 unbelievable stories of big companies. Our guest for today is Parth Gurbani. Parth has been working in MNC since last 5 years. He is also a spiritual speaker. Today he will be sharing different stories, different success stories, different market stories of big companies. Let's welcome our guest for today.
Hi Shivani,
So, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm also good. So, yes, let's jump into the topic. Today, we are going to share about 5 unbelievable stories of big companies. And today, our guest Parth is going to share those stories with us. So, Parth, how would you like to address this topic over here?
I would like to address this topic over here with telling something interesting and the marketing strategies which are like sustained from 90s 80s to till 21 without being affected.
Right, yes. So let's get into this. We are going to talk about big companies today, right? Like Apple and Red Bull and such big companies. So, what compelled you to be curious about learning the stories of different companies?
Like I already told you before, like how these companies are sustained from since long back. Like the Apple is sustained from 1997 to till 2021, like without being like Apple is just not in a word. It's a ruling market. If you can
Right,
jump over, it's a name. It's not a name, it's a ruling one. Let
right.
me to these topics.
Okay. Let's share the story of Apple.
Yeah, sure. In the first thing that Steve Jobs says, like no product will last forever.
Right,
So in 1997 the Steve Jobs like started like iPod,
right,
and he's to kill about own products. In 2007 iPod was replaced by iPhone, and again in 2010 the giant computers were replaced by the iPad. So Steve Jobs says the marketing is about the values. It's complicated and noisy world, and we are not going to get the chance to get people remember much about us. So no company is, so we have to be very clear that about what we want to know.
okay,
And one more about the Steve Jobs. Like he's the best marketer in the world. Actually,
right,
when he launched the iPod, and he was like, he didn't say the iPod has 1 GB storage for MP3s. Instead, he says the iPod puts 1,000 songs in your pocket, and he
yeah,
didn't say the iPod is a small size.
exactly.
Instead, he said iPod fits in your pocket. That's
Yeah.
that is called turning features into the benefits.
Talking about smartphones, let's talk about Nokia. Like, what do you think where Nokia lost its place in the smartphone race?
Yeah, there's a multiple reasons for Nokia. Let me tell
Right.
you the few of the reasons. Like I'll just explain you few of the reasons why the Nokia failed. Like
Yeah.
first of all, Nokia did not adapt to change. Although it was an initiator of the early smartphones, IBM's was smartphones were introduced in year 2002.
Right.
But the company did not manage to change the pace of changing technologies.
Got it.
And the lack of innovations, ex- excessive reliance on being a first mover in the industries, sometimes it goes wrong.
Right. 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 Right.
Symbian in 2002 was a good move, but when Apple launched the 2007 iPhone, it actually spoiled the creative advantage of Nokia was enjoying.
Yeah, got it. And like that was the biggest fall of the mobile giant, we can say that, right?
Yes, and there was an internal rivalries, lack of vision. These were the multiple reasons with why the Nokia has been failed, and same it is with like Motorola.
Oh, yeah, right.
So both, when I compared the both one, like there was like internal rivalries also affected it in the higher
Oh,
managements.
Oh, yeah, got it. Uh, yeah, so like failures are as important as success, you know. So like, yeah, let's jump into another success story, which is Red Bull. You mentioned that you want to talk about Red Bull. So like Red Bull has this amazing advertising campaigns. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So I will share something like Red Bull trash can marketing.
Okay,
Actually, this is the thing when the Red Bull thought to launch in 1994 to launch a energy drink in London. So
okay,
instead of using the traditional marketing methods like advertisement on televisions, radios, or billboards, they
yeah,
decided to do something different.
got it.
They decided to market their product with their own trash.
Oh, okay.
So, so Red Bull had some people ask them to spend whole night placing the empty cans of Red Bull all over the city, and while bus stops, metro stations, railway stations, storefronts, and footpaths. And the next
Oh,
morning, people of London were completely confused by seeing that empty cans of Red Bull all over the city. And they created the perception in the mind of Londoners that there is a high demand of energy drink. And people
oh,
of London immediately started the purchasing Red Bull, and the sales of Red Bull touched the sky.
oh, I did not know about that. I had read some news, like some articles here and there about Red Bull, but I did not know about that story.
Yes, it's what when they launched in 1994, they used this strategy to come up in the market.
Oh, okay. That's great. And also, like, since we are on beverages right now, uh, we can talk about Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Like, both great beverages, both great, have their own market, and since they are rivals, one is very successful and one is not. Explain that to our audience.
Yeah, there is a small like campaign story of Pepsi and Coca-Cola. I've done the research. Like,
Okay.
you have you heard about the Pepsi challenge? It was so in the in the cricket like in the cricket advertisement on the cricket T-shirts like the Pepsi challenge.
No, I have not heard about it.
Okay, I'll tell you about it. The
Yeah.
Pepsi rolled out a legendary marketing campaign in 1975, the Pepsi challenge.
Okay.
And like people were asked to do the blind taste in which they would taste two cups, one filled with Coke, another with Pepsi. The largest percent of testers preferred the first sip of Pepsi
Okay.
and convinced that the people preferred the taste of Pepsi over a Coke. So company decided to reformulate the Coke. Okay, so
Okay.
Coca-Cola executive decided to discontinue the classic Coke and rolled out a new Coke. The people actually like the new Coke, even is choosing over a classic Coke during the test, but the new Coke failed. It
Okay.
totally failed. So people protested to bring back a classic Coke, or, and Coca-Cola severely underestimated the consumer loyalty.
Right.
And they eventually pulled a new Coke off the market and replaced with the true classic Coke.
Oh, so that's where it all began. The battle began over that time.
So it shows when you fail, that's not the ultimate result. How you
Right.
bounce back that matters and that maintain the consumer loyalty. That's a main big, you know, you can say it's a issue or a privilege. It's both.
Yeah, got it. Okay. What are the common traits you can see in having a successful companies? Okay, so like we talked about many successful companies' stories over here. Like, what are certain common things that all the companies who have succeeded have right now?
There are so many like common trait for successful empires, like I can say like definite aim, vision,
Okay,
purpose, focus. But
okay,
according to me, the main element is constancy. There is no successful empire built overnight. So keep going with the things, keep going with the constancy, it matters. And this is as a common trait I've been seeing with like big companies right now in the market. If you can check out like Apple. Apple was eventually failed before 1997. The
right.
Steve Jobs kicked out of its own company.
Right.
So they become constraints on their thing.
Yes.
That's the main common trait according to me.
Got it. Got it. And what are the three common things that have caused failures in big companies?
I can say like there are so many, like there are the multiple reasons of failures,
Hmm.
but as per my case studies, there are some of the main reason, like I already told you in your Nokia factor, like they did not adapt to change the things. That's a
Right.
lack of innovations and
Exactly.
lack of visions. These are the, like, first of all, when they become a first mover in the industry, so they don't, like, they just enjoy the privilege. They don't have vision to move further. But if you can check out the Apple stories or Apple marketing strategies, they kill their own products.
Right.
But when you check the app, I have read, like, when Nokia, every smart company phone has tie up with Android to kill up the Apple in 2007. But there was, like, being a first mover, the Nokia failed to deal with Android. And
Right.
still, if you can check, there is no good Nokia phone with an Android.
Got it. So yeah, you need to adapt the change and be consistent with the change, right? Change
Y-
is the main focus and core part of any industry.
yes, that's the main reason.
Yeah. So, which are the books or articles you read that made you curious about whatever the stories you shared with us today?
Like, actually, I really don't read articles on it or books, but I really like to read the books that are based on spirituality, because
Oh,
it's being like like I being like a spiritual speaker. Like recently, I was reading the book like Life's Amazing Secrets by Gaur Gopal Das and
oh yeah,
Think Like a Monk by Jay
right.
Shetty.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me tell our audience over here that Parth is also a spiritual speaker, right? Like he is amazing with giving out motivational thoughts and motivational. He also shares motivational speaker story on his LinkedIn. So yeah, we would like to end this podcast on a very positive quote. What would you like to share with our audience?
Like, I would like to, like, sometimes life is going to hit you in the head with a brick.
Right.
But don't lose a faith. It's by Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one. All right, Parth. Thank you so much for joining our podcast. It was great to hear these stories from you, and see you again soon. We would like to invite you for a spiritual podcast soon.
For sure.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So today we talked about different companies and how they handle their success and failures. We also talked about different marketing strategies of big companies. For more such interesting topics, stay tuned to the Techforce Podcast Show. Stay safe. Goodbye.